Hello, hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady Rochelle, where we move away from awareness towards action. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so this is a special edition of Warriors Talk. And our topic for tonight is moving beyond the fear of recurrence. We are grateful for our sponsor on today. We have Emmanuel Church of God in Christ with Pastor Michael Richardson, and he has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson, and we are from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
So tonight we're going to talk about moving beyond the fear of recurrence. And this is something that every cancer survivor, if you have been diagnosed with cancer, this is something that is in the back of your mind, for some more than others. So let's jump right into the conversation tonight. Again, we are in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So number one, recognize your emotions. Many people try to hide their emotions, what they're going through. They don't want to appear weak to anybody else. They don't want to look like they're crazy. So, and they figure like if they start naming things that are wrong with them, then they have issues. Take the time to recognize the emotions that you're going through. If not for yourself, for the others that are around you, because a lot of times people know that we're going through something just by the change in our attitude, how we isolate ourselves from other people. We don't want to be bothered. We don't want to participate. They're inviting us to things and we're like, no, I don't feel like it. I don't want to go. So recognize when something is going on in your head, you're feeling anxiety and you don't know what to do. Stop trying to handle everything on your own. You just went through a cancer diagnosis. Nobody is expecting you to not have these different emotions of fear, anxiety. You nervous about this cancer coming back. This thing is in the back of your mind all the time. And as you get further and further away from your diagnosis date, some people tend to think about it less. Then you have some people that think about it more than others. I know for me, when I was first diagnosed, maybe for the first couple of years, that's all I thought about. But as I got more and more into advocacy and educating myself about breast cancer and helping others, knowing what I can control and what I can't control, then it helped me to minimize that fear. So, number two, to help you move beyond the fear of recurrence is don't ignore your fears. Don't ignore your fears. Your fears. Don't tell yourself that, oh, you're just being stupid. You're not going through anything. These feelings that you're having. You shouldn't be having these feelings, and you make yourself feel like, you just didn't go through this horrific ordeal. Accept the experience that you went through, accept the fear, and learn how to move beyond the fear. Focus on how to manage your fears, how to manage your anxiety versus ignoring them. Because when you ignore something, if you left the water on in your bathtub and you went to work and you just like, oh, it's on, it's dripping, but it's gonna be okay. But the stopper was in the tub. When you come home, more than likely you're gonna have some problems. It's gonna overflow and you're gonna have some damage in the bathroom. So you can't ignore things like fear when it comes to a cancer diagnosis. This is something that has the potential to paralyze you into not moving on, not moving past the diagnosis, and all of a sudden things that you used to do, things that you like to do, that you were known for, all of those things get pushed on the back burner because you're allowing the fear to be in the forefront of your life. So don't ignore the fear, confront the fear. Number three, how to move beyond the fear of recurrence is join a support group. I cannot tell you how important it is to get around some individuals who have a similar diagnosis as you. It may not be the exact same diagnosis. They may not have went through the exact same treatment you have went through or side effects that you have went through. But if they had a cancer diagnosis, then 9 times out of 10, they can identify with the fear that you have. And now you are around some people that is not going to be judgmental. They're not going to look at you like you're crazy because you're having these fears, but they're going to be there to understand and listen with compassion and then offer you some sound advice from things that they have been through. You have to get around some people that has been through this. And there is the cancer support team. You can look them up. They have a support group. They meet virtually and they do a lot of things in the community. So you can look them up and get around some women and some men who are going to help uplift you, inspire you, and push you when you cannot do it. And you won't be afraid to share your feelings because you're not going to feel like, oh, they're judging me. Oh, they don't understand. But these are people that are going to be able to identify with those same fears that you have. Number four, moving from the fear when you're thinking about a recurrence is, okay, you had the cancer diagnosis. Now you should not be living the same way that you lived before. You should be making some changes. And part of those changes is making healthy lifestyle choices. You should be eating healthier. You should be exercising regularly. You should be, and I'm guilty of this, getting enough sleep. You should be dealing with things differently when you have already had a cancer diagnosis. A lot of times the doctors will say, oh, they don't know what caused the cancer diagnosis, right? They'll say, I don't know. If you were smoking for years and years and then you ended up getting lung cancer, the doctors can say, oh, we can attribute it to lung cancer. But if they say, oh, we don't know where this breast cancer came from, especially if you don't have breast cancer in your family, especially if you have tested negative for, the BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes and the other genes that test that they have out there, the gene mutations that they have out there, the doctors will say they don't know. It could be environmental, it could be behavior, it could be, especially if individuals in your families are being diagnosed with like the same cancers and y'all all are in the same environment doing the same things. You have to try to incorporate healthier lifestyle choices. And I'm not saying that this is going to be something that's easy. That's why it's called a lifestyle. It's not called a diet, it's called a lifestyle. So you are incorporating these things in your life every single day, little by little, until you're able to not be tempted to fall back into old habits that is not good for you. Now, we know that exercise is one of those things that they do contribute exercise to um, minimizing your risk of a cancer recurrence. They push exercise. I cannot tell you enough. 30 minutes is all you need for exercise to help minimize your risk of cancer. You can walk. You can get some YouTube videos and follow it. You don't have to go in the gym if you don't want to. You can turn on YouTube and type in the type of exercise that you want to do, and YouTube would bring it up. You can go to Five and Below, get you some weights, get you some bands, and you can exercise. Get you a mat, and you can exercise from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go anywhere to do it. But like Nike said, just do it. You have to get moving, not just for cancer, but heart disease, diabetes. There's so many other things out there that you're susceptible to now that you have had a cancer diagnosis. So exercise is one of those things that you can do to make sure that you are minimizing your risk. Number 5, reduce stress. We all know that stress is a silent killer. So you have to find ways to manage stress. Lower your encounter with stress. Lower your anxiety. Find ways to cope with stress, whether it be saying no. And then exercise is another way to minimize stress as well. Removing yourself from stressful situations. Stop overbooking yourself, allowing people or being around people that drain you, that you can't say no to. Stop putting yourself in stressful situations. Stop waiting to the last minute to do stuff. Stop procrastinating. Eliminate stuff from your to-do list. If you know you can't handle it, then you beating yourself up like, oh man, why I didn't do that. Stop doing that to yourself. Reduce stress, because stress, for me, I always say that stress, it turned on that gene for cancer for me, because I was stressed out, and it'll allow my immune system to be suppressed. And at that point, that cancer gene was turned on, all because I was stressed out. So find ways to, eliminate stress. Take a walk. If you're in a stressful situation, taking a walk will help you decrease stress. If you're at home, take a bubble bath, right? Light some candles, take a bath, put on some music, take a nap. Again, tell people no. Spend time with people that you love, people that are not going to drain you. They're not going to pour everything out of you to where you go home and you just like, oh my God, you can't even focus on anything that you need to focus on, because you were so focused on this person or this situation that drains you. Number 6, when you're thinking about the fear of a recurrence, is be well informed. Be well informed. There is so much research right now out there that we can look up and go to reliable sources. You guys, go to the .org sources, the WHO organization, the World Health Organization, the National Cancer Institute, American Cancer Society, like these places where you can go and get, I want to say, accurate information about the patterns of recurrence for the type of cancer that you have. Also ask your doctor, hey, how likely am I to have a recurrence with the cancer that I have, with the treatment that I have, with my overall health? they should be honest with you and tell you. They should tell you that anyway when you have a cancer diagnosis and you go through all of this treatment. That should be one of the things that they tell you. Hey, your chances of a recurrence is really high, so I'm going to need you to do X, Y, Z. I don't understand, and some doctors may, but I'm going to tell you maybe the majority of them do not. They do not. So, and a lot of times they're not looking at the holistic way of, taking care of your body, the holistic way of healing. They're looking at the medicine. They're looking at what medicine can you take to put a band-aid on whatever is wrong with you, versus us getting to the root of what's going on so that this cannot occur again. I cannot stress that we should be doing things and putting things in our bodies and putting things in our minds so that that gene will not be turned on. So that, and let me just say this, even though you do the chemo, even though you do, they give you surgery, it's still some cancer cells lingering somewhere. They're just going to some of them lay dormant and they never wake back up. They never harm you or do anything to you. And then you have some that'll sit and wait for years and years. And then something happens to where it turns it back on, and then it comes back. And a lot of times it comes back with a vengeance. So be well informed, talk to your doctor, ask questions, ask questions. This is somebody that you're paying for your health, somebody you're paying to help you to be healthy. That's funny, right? Because it's funny because we know that a lot of doctors are not doing that. They are basically putting a band-aid on whatever is wrong with you. So you have to inform yourself to take care of yourself, get the knowledge that you need to make better decisions on how to minimize your risk of recurrence. Number 7, stick with your follow-up care plan. A lot of times we get so nervous because of what we went through with the cancer diagnosis. We have a fear of when we got to go back to the doctor, we're like, I don't want to go. So we might try to put it off. We might reschedule. And then next thing you know, a year, 2 passed, 2 years, and you're like, oh, wow, I ain't been in the doctor's office. Then you get in there, they're like, oh, yeah, we see the cancer done came back. You're like, what? When you ain't been there in 2 years. Like, if you're afraid, I always say just do it afraid. Yeah, God did not give us the spirit of fear, but guess what? We're human, and you're going to have fear, even if you are a Christian, even if you love the Lord. When you go in the doctor's office, you still may have fear. It may not be magnetized as someone who don't have God in their life, but you're still going to have a little fear. I don't care how many scriptures you quote, it's going to be a little fear there to say, okay, I'm nervous, I'm scared. Do it anyway. Okay, Lord, I need you to go in here with me. I need you to hold my hand. I need you to minimize or eliminate this fear altogether. And let me be a big girl and go ahead and get this appointment out of the way so that I can have a peace of mind. And if your doctor is not giving you a care plan on what you should do and you're done with treatment, you should be asking questions. Okay, what am I supposed to be doing? By me being diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, which is an aggressive form of breast cancer, it's hard to treat. So I'm thinking like, okay, they're going to give me some type of medicine I'm supposed to take. You just can't, how you going to just send me away with nothing? And she's like, no, there's no medicine for someone with triple negative to take after they have done treatment. I'm like, wow. So, and then she said, I was like, oh, so am I supposed to get scanned every year? No, they don't want you getting scanned every year. Why? Because we know that causes cancer too. It causes cancer. It could wake up the gene to come back. Whatever cancer cells are lingering in there, guess what? You keep getting the scans and it could cause the cancer to come back. You have radiation, is a chance the cancer could come back. They use this medicine to get rid of cancer, to poison your system, to get rid of cancer. But that medicine also causes cancer too. For some, it'll come back. For some, it won't. And who knows? The doctors don't even know why it came back in Julie, but it didn't come back in Samantha. And, they use the same treatment. They don't know. They have no idea. And that's the scary part about it, is that there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to cancer. It's still a lot of unknowns because it's so many different forms of cancer. And so there's still some unknowns when it comes to treatment. So a lot of times we're guinea pigs when we're getting medicine. We're guinea pigs to see, okay, it worked on that one. It worked on this one. How many did it work on? And how many passed away? And they're calculating all of those numbers to see, okay, the risk outweighs. Hey, Tracy, exactly. Practicing medicine. And we're in the middle suffering. Some of us suffer. Some of us have side effects that you can barely live with. Some people can't even live with the side effects. But it's the price that you pay because you want to be so-called cancer-free, which is no such thing. If you think about it, when you're done with treatment, they never say, oh, you're cancer-free. They say, no evidence of disease, because they can't really tell you if you're cancer-free because they don't know. But they'll tell you that you have no evidence of disease. And so you just have to go with what they say. Go with what the Lord say and pray that everything was removed and it does not wake up. So number 8, when you have a fear of recurrence, is know when to seek professional help. And that could be help, going to the doctor if you're having any type of symptoms, or going to the doctor if the anxiety is just so overwhelming that you don't want to do any activities. You avoid going to the doctor. You avoid just being around people, and you don't want to go to work. You don't want to eat. You don't want to do anything. Okay, it's time for you to get some type of professional help. Don't just sit there and rot away. Go get some help. Nobody's going to think you crazy. You ain't even got to tell nobody that you're going to get help. You can go. That's your business. You can go call your doctor, your oncologist, and say, hey, this anxiety. And if you don't want to be put on anxiety medicine, then don't let them put you on anxiety medicine. But you can go and talk to a therapist and release that. A lot of times you just need to release it to someone who's not going to be like, oh, girl, you're going to be all right. Girl, it's just for a moment. Oh, girl, it's just in your head. Okay, no, you don't need to hear that. You need somebody who's trained, who went to school, who know how to deal with, a therapist who knows how to deal with oncology patients, not just a regular therapist, but you need somebody who knows how to deal with oncology patients. Tracy says, I wouldn't let them put me on any. No, because a lot of times when you get on that medicine, it's hard to wean yourself. It's hard to wean off that medicine, and then there's so many side effects that comes with the medicine. It may make your situation worse than what it is. And plus, if you already doing any medicine to treat the cancer, then this is another medicine added onto that. Who wants to do that? No, you don't want to do that. But it's okay to go and seek a therapist and talk that thing out. Release it. I have a fear of cancer coming back. I have a fear of dying. I have a fear of leaving my kids behind. I have a fear of not, living out my dreams. I have a fear of, release it. Release it. Guess what? You're not the only one with a cancer diagnosis who have thought those things. You're not. So you're not crazy. You're not. Don't allow it to fester inside of you, because it can make you sick. Release it so that you can live whatever life or time that God has for you. You live it. You want to be active. You want to be healthy. You want to be mentally strong. Just because you have a cancer diagnosis or have had a cancer diagnosis doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you have to live this life where you living afraid. No, you don't. No, you still can, whatever dreams you have, you still can do all of those things. But you can't do it if you're afraid. You can't do it if you're hiding, you're inside the house and you isolate yourself and you don't seek help. No, that thing will eat you up. It will literally eat you up. Number 9, work on your relationship with God. When I was going through my cancer diagnosis, I thought, oh, yeah, I got a relationship with God. My relationship with God is on point, baby, bye. I thought it was. The song that my mom used to sing is, um, she looked down the land and she wondered and she saw how far she was from God. I saw just how far I was and I was like, wow, like my relationship wasn't what I thought it was. And I really had to sit, talk, nurture, spend time with God. And in my cancer diagnosis was the first time that I heard from God, that I actually recognized that I heard from him, that he was present in my life. Like that was the first time. Like you hear like, oh yeah, I know God is here. And then no, baby, I felt that thing. And he let me know that he was present. And that's something that I would never forget. I said, oh God, if you don't do anything else for me again, he did that thing right there. He came to see about me. So your relationship, and it's your relationship. You don't have to compare with nobody else's relationship with God. Is your relationship. You nurture it how you want to nurture it. You commune with him, spend time with him. And if you do that, trust me, a lot of this anxiety you're not going to have, because he will give you that peace that surpasses all understanding. He will give you that. People be looking at you like, how she got peace in the midst of her storm? How you going through cancer and you out here happy? Yes, Tracy, it's personal. And you ain't gotta blab it to everybody. You talk that some things you can't tell nobody but God. Some things you don't want to tell nobody but God. And he ain't gonna be judging you and looking at you like, well, why you feel that way? Mm-mm. And yes, Tracy says she is happy in Jesus. And you have to nurture that relationship just like you do any other relationship. When you get married, you nurture that relationship. When you have kids, you nurture that relationship. You got a best friend, you nurture that relationship. You have to spend time nurturing that relationship. And the only way that relationship is going to get stronger is if you spending time with that person. You spending time with God. And you would be surprised that in your darkest moments that God will have purpose for you. He will have purpose for your life. And you just like, man, how I got purpose right now? I'm going through a cancer diagnosis. He still has purpose for you. If you're breathing, he still has purpose. Whatever that purpose is. If it's to tell somebody about your cancer journey, if it's just that one person you tell, that's purpose. It's purpose. If you telling somebody about God, that's purpose. If you're still here and you're breathing, that means God is not done with you. That means he's still crafting you as his masterpiece. He's still working on you. That means you still have work to do. So do it. Do what you're supposed to do while you're here. Whatever people, whatever tribe that you are assigned to, you are doing them a disservice if you are not doing what you're supposed to do. All right, so that wraps up moving beyond the fear of recurrence. And believe me, I could talk about this one all day, every day. But you cannot allow the fear of recurrence to paralyze you from moving forward with life. Move, do, and be anyway, regardless. Because cancer ain't going nowhere, right? It's not going nowhere until God decides that it will. So you have to still live your life, and you don't have to live it afraid. You do not have to live it afraid. I like that. Tracy says she lives on purpose. And that's the best way. That's the best way to live. So that you know the things that you're doing, it matters. It matters for you and the people that's affected by it, that is connected to you. Be intentional. I love that, Tracy. Be intentional. Sometimes we just get up, we do, we don't really take time to think about our day. We don't really spend time with God in the morning, say, Lord, guide my day. Lord, how do you want this day to go? Lord, how can I bring glory and honor to you? Lord, how can I bring glory and honor to you in this body that has cancer in it? How can this body with cancer in it bring glory and honor to you? That's what it's all about. It's about what we're doing to bring glory and honor to Him and the people that He has assigned us to make sure you're stopping them from doing what they're supposed to do because you're not doing your assignment. So you're so worried about being afraid. You're so worried about other people and what they're doing. No, worried about what God has purpose for you to do in this lifetime. That's what we should be worried about. All right. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this conversation. I just wanted to make sure that we are staying in with the theme for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, that you are educated and you can walk away moving past awareness and towards action. The key is to take action. And you can take action by being a guest on Warriors Talk. We have Testimonial Monday. Just email me or inbox me to let me know. The email address is warriorstalk1@gmail.com. Let me know that you would like to be a guest, to share your cancer story, whatever type of survivor story that you have. We would like to hear it. Other people want to hear it. They want to be empowered. People looking for hope. So if you have a story that you can share that will give someone hope, let me know so you could be a guest on the show. Warriors Talk is also celebrating our 7th annual Survivors Night of Reflection Gala, taking place on Saturday, October the 28th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Crystal Sky Banquet Hall. And I'm so excited about this. This is a season to embrace, and we are embracing life. We are embracing moving forward with our life in spite of a cancer diagnosis, in spite of all of the aftermath that cancer brings. We are still embracing life that God has gave us. It's going to be a fashion show, so survivors are going to strut their stuff on the runway. We are honoring survivors on that night. All survivors are free. One of the reasons why survivors are free is Tracy. Thank you to Tracy. She went out there and she got donations for individuals to be able to attend this event free. So if you are a survivor, you do not have to pay. It is free for you to come and allow us to celebrate you. If you would like to be a sponsor, just email me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com, or you can inbox me as well. If you would like to make a donation, you can do the same thing. Just inbox me or email me and let me know that you would like to donate or you would like to be a sponsor at the event. I'm so excited about the event. All right, my last sponsor is Gloria Dotson with Mary Kay. She's catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe. I don't need to tell you how amazing Mary Kay products are, especially if you, for those of us who are aging with grace, they have some amazing products that you can use that will help you age gracefully. So you can contact Gloria Dotson at 773-749-6680, or you can go to marykay.com/GDOTSON and please tell her that Warriors Talk sent you so that she knows that I'm spreading the word and that her sponsorship is not in vain. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Warriors Talk Special Edition. Join me every Monday at 6 p.m. on Intellectual Radio, where Warriors Talk is changing lives one warrior at a time.